Jay, first question, he says, how to ingrain into my brain that I am the prize? Dude, I'm so happy you asked this question because this is one of those things where I was like, should I give them the exercise, the perfect day exercise today, or should I talk about this? I have 3 affirmations to answer your question that have really been helping me out a lot lately. Like I said, I have coaches myself too, and these are 3 affirmations that my coach gave to me a couple weeks ago. And they've been really helpful for me because here's the thing, man. The only reason that you don't feel like you are the prize is one, because obviously you don't see yourself as a valuable asset yet. That's one reason. But secondly is because you care too much what other people think. And whether you know it or not, if you truly meditate on this and think about the core feelings, think about, all right, this is how I feel about myself. I'm not being the prize. Why don't I feel like I'm the prize right now? Well, I don't feel like I'm the prize right now because, and then whatever answer you come up with, you think, okay, well, my because, insert the reason you said, why do I feel like that reason is keeping me from being the prize? And you ask yourself why, until you get the core feeling, the core motivation behind it, and you realize that 99% of your struggles in your dating life can be overcome simply by caring less what other people think of you. I swear to God, if so many, that's the thing, is it's about it, is because that's such a core ingrained thing in 99% of people, it's so hard, it's so easy to say, but so hard to do. I would say even my own game, again, I don't care how long, where you are on this journey, if you're even at my level to where I'm able to teach thousands of guys every day this kind of stuff, I'm still elevating my game and learning new things and improving myself. And I, to be completely honest, feel like what got me to the level I'm at now, most recently, elevating up to another level, is simply because I finally got control of that deep ingrained feeling of needing validation from the group, right? And so think about how that feeling manifests in your life. Think about it, because if you truly care about, obviously improving your dating life and getting better at attracting women, that feeling's gonna naturally be there a little bit, especially if you're not aware of it. And you're gonna be like, I want to go up and get this good result from this girl because I want to improve myself and I want to get better results in my dating life, right? And because there's that reason why, you still have that underlying ping of needing the validation, needing this to happen, even if it's minuscule or even if it's very large, where it emotionally fucks you up, right? I feel like that's going to be there, and it kind of almost is necessary for you to get to a certain level. But for you to get from that level to where it got you, which again, it was completely necessary, you're going to need to get control of that so you can elevate to an even higher level, right? There's paradigms to this shit. It's fractals. So again, it's a never-ending learning game for you. Okay, so the 3 affirmations I have for you that have really been helping me, and it's just more of a reminder to yourself. Again, because a couple of guys on the previous coaching calls were saying that they weren't understanding the importance of affirmations or being congruent, right? And so again, these are more just reminders to yourself more than anything, if not saying them enough to where they actually become how you feel about the world and about yourself, right? So here they are. I don't need this person's approval. I don't need to please them. And I don't need to take care of them. All right? If you don't need this person's approval, then you don't care about saying the playfully challenging thing that you're afraid to say. If you don't need this person's approval, then you don't care how they'll react when you go up and approach them. Right? I don't need to please them. So when you get in a conversation with them, you don't need to feel like you got to filter yourself just to not offend her. Right? I don't need to please them. And anyway, I don't have to buy her a drink if I feel like she's losing interest, because it's not my job. It's not my role in this world to please her. Right? And I don't need to take care of them. I don't need to. In reality, these are more of a reminder that you got to take care of number 1 first. Number 1, you. All right? If you're sacrificing yourself to appease another person who you don't even know, who has no relevance to you, who is just a girl in a bar that you find sexually attractive, you're forgetting about the top priority, which is you. So how do you make yourself feel more valuable, one, use those 3 affirmations, but 2, I'm going to be honest, man, and this is not just like me saying this as a marketer. This is me saying this as experience in my own life. It's investing in yourself. I swear. Because if you're not willing to admit, again, we talked about this at the beginning of this call. If you're not willing to admit, honestly, drop the fucking ego. Where are you at in your dating life right now? What are you struggling with? Most guys can't even admit it to themselves. If they can't admit it to themselves, they definitely don't want to admit it to their coaches, their friends, their family. But if you can't talk about it, if you can't admit it, then how is anybody supposed to help you? Period. Right? Especially you. If you can't even admit it to yourself, how are you supposed to help yourself? How are you supposed to improve? All right? So that's the first step, is admit where you are right now and realize that this isn't where you want to be for the rest of your life. We just did the perfect day exercise. And I'm still answering your question, JJ. So keep paying attention, right? If you feel like you're not the prize yet, you now know where your perfect day, your perfect life looks like, especially after you go through this exercise again in more detail. Well, I hope it's not where you're at now. So when you can admit where you're at now, and your perfect day exercise is an ambitious goal for you to work towards because it's your perfect life, and I assume you're not living a perfect life right now, then you realize there's a disconnect. And it's like, okay, well, how fast do I want to get from point A to point B? How fast do I want to get from where I am at now to that place where I just said I want my perfect ideal life to be one year from now? How fast do I want that 1 year vision in 1 year? Do I want that 1 year vision in 6 months? Or do I want that 1 year vision in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe never? Because the only difference between having someone to help you get there, someone to lower the ladder or put the street lights on the street from point B tracing back to you exactly where you are, the only way to get there in 1 year or 6 months or 3 months for some people, rather than 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe never, is getting someone to show you the way. That's the only way. Whether it's through books, courses, or investing in an actual coach. If you are not getting someone to show you how to get there faster, and if you're not investing in speed, then you simply do not value yourself. You're not saying, I'm worth investing $25,000 into growing a business that I want to make a global impact with. If it's not worth $25,000 to me, and I can actually afford $25,000 to me, then I don't value myself enough to actually make my perfect life happen. Do you see how this is all connected? Right? If I don't value myself to get someone to show me how to get there as fast as possible, then I don't truly want it. And I don't truly value myself. And so I'm telling you this from personal experience to answer your question, JJ. The reason why you don't feel like you're the prize is because you haven't, one, fully committed to investing in yourself and improving yourself and doing whatever you can, investing in the knowledge and paying for speed. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, then that is not going to tell your brain, I value myself. And how is that going to come across when you fucking go and approach that girl? It's going to come across in this guy has some fucked up shit about him, and I don't know what it is. And what it actually is because he's trying to figure out how to attract women on his own. And then secondly, there's that underlying need for approval that's so deep-rooted to where you don't even know it exists until you ask yourself, why do I feel like I'm not the prize? 7 or 8 times until you get to the core reason. That underlying need for approval, for getting a win, for just appeasing others, as well, coupled with the fact that you invest in yourself and you do whatever you can to achieve that vision that you just set for yourself in as fast as possible, those two things combined really reinforce your self-image on how you view yourself in this world. So the second that you can get to a place to where you admit, I need help with this stuff. I am not a one-man show. And in fact, even if I think normally I am good at things, the simple fact that I am not playing in the game at the highest level by investing in someone who could potentially get me there faster than I would be able to get there on myself means that I don't value myself enough to give me that perfect life as fast as I want. Right? So that's what I would recommend for your self-image. And I'm telling you this because there's been times where I say, I can do it myself. I can edit videos myself. I can do my own customer service. I can figure out how to grow a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure business by reading books, but not investing in a coach because that's a lot of money. When I go through phases where I'm resistant to investing in myself, I actually feel this subtle need for approval, the subtle need for wins, for validation from the universe that I'm doing the right thing. That subtle need really comes from the fact that you are uncertain about where you're going because you're trying to figure it out on your own, right? So when you can eliminate a deep-seated, rooted thing like that, that's where you start to just naturally attract people by your vibe. Because when someone walks through the world so light, their chin is up, their chest is out, they always got a magnetic, exuberant smile on their face. And every single person they talk to also ends up smiling by the end of that conversation. That kind of person has a different vibe than the person who, trying to figure things out on their own, is unwilling to admit because of their own ego or whatever it is that they need help with this. And they're playing the victim now because they're like, well, fuck, I'm trying everything and I just can't do it. So maybe I'm just not worth it. And now my self-worth is even lower. Man, like there's a completely different energy about those two people. And the only difference is this guy, maybe he doesn't have it all figured out. And maybe he doesn't have better results than him. But the only difference is that he's able to admit that to himself so it doesn't weigh him down. It's not an open loop in the back of his head. It's not something he's trying to hide. It's not a mask he's wearing. He's able to admit it and overcome his insecurities about it. Because when you speak it out to an existence, it no longer exists. That insecurity disappears. It's magical, right? And so when he's able to do that, and he's like, you know what? If I have the means to invest in someone who's going to show me the way to get there faster without me having to figure it out, without me having to endure the stress and the rejection and the uncertainty and the feelings of doubts about myself. When you can pay for speed and get the wisdom that we were talking about at the beginning of this coaching call, where I said, if you lack the wisdom and you just gotta get that quick win, but then when that win disappears, it's built on a foundation of sand, so it all falters and you're back to level one. Pay for speed by gaining wisdom from someone who's already been through what you've been through or something similar to it. That's how you invest. That's how you start seeing yourself as a prize. That's how you get rid of that subtle, deep-seated urge to gain approval and to get validation. Everybody has it. And in fact, it wasn't even until recently that I feel like I got full awareness of it for me, right? Again, it's necessary to get you to this level, to take action and know that I want that better result. It's necessary, but it won't get you to the highest level, right? It's like that Einstein quote, to solve a problem, you can't solve it at the paradigm it was created. I butchered that, but that's basically the same thing, right? So everything we've been talking about on this call is connected. Love that question. And also, if you want to come to my upcoming bootcamp in September, it's a different bootcamp than you've ever been on before because rather than 2 or 3 guys, so for example, the normal bootcamps, the bootcamp model I believe is flawed. You'll get 2 or 3 guys on a bootcamp in an environment that the coach has no control over and the students have no control over. And because this business is such a fucking grind, these coaches, they stop valuing the actual people that they're helping. And so I've heard so many horror stories where the coach takes them out to an environment, puts them in the middle of an environment where the coach has no control, he has no control, and the coach says, fuck this, and ditches them halfway through the night. Happens every fucking weekend. It's why I shied away from doing boot camps myself or events similar in that nature to myself more than just a couple of times because one, as a business model, it's flawed, but 2, because of its flaw, it leads to lackluster results. And so before I ever told myself I was going to get into doing events, I wanted to be able to operate from integrity, build up goodwill with my audience, but also I wanted to do it in a way where I could actually guarantee results. So that way I'm not charging a fucking arm and a leg to ditch them halfway through the night. I'm actually charging them way less and getting them way better results. And so that's kind of what I'm going to start doing, as you heard from my perfect day vision, my perfect life vision with raw dating advice. But if you're interested in coming to this one-time bootcamp, no cameras, no recording, and in fact, when you come to the room, we're going to make you turn off your phone and leave it in the back of the room with your bag and your stuff, right? We're going to be interacting with each other. And then the second day of this event, I'm going to bring in models and we're going to have a private banter session. And these are models that I've hand selected from Scottsdale If you don't know, Scottsdale, Arizona has the hottest women in the world. And I don't say that, and I kind of laugh because I've been to Las Vegas, I've been to LA, I've been to New York City, Miami, everywhere. In the United States, every place that I've been, Scottsdale, number one, highest quality women in the highest volume, right? These women aren't just traveling here with their friends in bachelor parties, like in Vegas, so they never leave the group. These women live here. so it's great. So in September, when the weather's nice, with these women, I've hand selected. Second day, we're gonna have a private banter session. So there's gonna be 30 guys there. We're planning on having 30 guys only, no more than this, so I don't overextend myself, or so I can actually deliver individualized results. And private banter session in front of the group, by the way, so you can get value from other people's banter sessions with these models. And what I'm gonna have you guys do is banter with them and try to attract them and try to have these conversations. And then in the moment, I'll be able to pause the interaction and correct you right then and there and say, here's what you said and here's why it didn't work, and it's because you did it like this. Try it like this time. And then I'm gonna resume the interaction and you guys are gonna start talking again. And we're gonna keep going until you are noticeably better at banter. And we're gonna do that for all 30 guys. It's gonna be most of the second day. We're also going to do a mall makeover where I'm not necessarily taking you to the mall and redoing your whole wardrobe and making you a different person, because obviously I don't want to do that. The point of this thing is to show you that you can attract women exactly how you are. You just need to make those subtle switches. I'm calling this forbidden secrets to seduction. And so the mall makeover is more just showing you how to amplify your already attractive features that you have. I don't care if you're a heavier guy, a shorter guy, a guy who's taller, a guy who's tall and big. It doesn't matter what your shape, size, or color is. There's different ways to amplify your already attractive features, whether it's through blazers, v-necks, whatever it is. There's a lot of different subtleties to it. So I'm gonna bring in my own personal tailor to give us the advice. Along with my advice, we're gonna co-do this one. And then I'm gonna take you to the mall and fucking pick out the clothes for you, right? So then that's the second day. And then the third day is hot seats. And if you have never experienced hot seats, what we're gonna do is I'm going to do one by one. We're gonna put one person on the hot seat at a time. You get 5 minutes. Ask me anything, describe your situation, and I'm gonna give you as much value as I can in those 5 minutes. And we're gonna go through the room, all 30 guys. And the best part about hot seats is you learn the most, not during your own hot seat, you learn the most listening to other people's hot seats. So that's gonna be the third day. And like I said, this is not a boot camp that you've ever experienced before. This is a controlled experience where I can guarantee your results by the end of the weekend, and it's gonna be transformational. Like I said, this is the shit that I'm not gonna put on the internet because I literally couldn't if I wanted to, because it's so tailored to the guys who are there. So because it's such a transformational experience tailored to you, we wanna make sure that when you come, you're a good fit. So if you're interested, shoot me an email, rawdatingadvice@gmail.com with the subject line private bootcamp, and let me know in the email that you are also in Legendary Game, and we'll schedule a call. I have a team member. I'm growing my team. He's my client success coach. His name is James. He has a Chinese accent, which is irrelevant, but now you know what you're gonna get when you're talking on the phone. Hey, this is James, and he has a Chinese. This is him, right? He's helping me take these calls. We want to just interview the people before we say you're a good fit, you need to be at this event. So if you're interested in this, if it sounds like something that might be of interest to you, if it sounds like something that, if the worst case scenario you came and you got one golden nugget that can get you there even a little bit faster, then it would be definitely worth your time. So I want to make sure that you're a good fit. So if you're interested, and if it sounds like something that would at least be a little bit worth a little bit of your time, to send that one email that says private bootcamp to rawdatingadvice@gmail.com, where you schedule the call with James and or me, and we interview you. We get to know your situation. We say, dude, that's awesome. You've been through 3 courses. Based on your situation, you know what? It might not be a great fit right now, but we'll be happy to point you in the right direction of wherever we think you are. Or chances are, if you're in Legendary Game and you're vibing with a lot of what we're talking about, chances are you're gonna like what you belong at this event. So if we are a good fit, if we're not a good fit, we're more than happy to tell you. If it is, we'll tell you, and we'll tell you the details of how to come. Right? So if you're interested, even slightly, highly recommend send an email, private bootcamp. With that subject line, private bootcamp, to rawdatingadvice@gmail.com, and we will set up that call with you. You guys were awesome today. See ya.